Well, aloha. We'll begin class soon. Another minute or two. And as we prepare for class, perhaps find a cushion, a towel, something to bolster your head or your hips, should you see fit. Be nice to have some water close by as well. Lay down your yoga mat if you haven't already, knowing that you don't need a yoga mat. Any floor space will do. Aloha. Welcome to yoga. What is this? The third week of at-home yoga. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you're making do with our situation, our shared situation. Socially distanced together. I've heard that and I liked it. We're all in this thing together. Well, thank you for carving out time to practice your yoga. And the yoga practice is just that. It's not a yoga perfect. It's a yoga practice. So long as you try, you'll be doing it right. There is very few wrongs in yoga and so many rights. If there's a gross wrong that you might sneak into any particular shape, I might call that out as a warning. Sometimes I say, danger, danger. Or other times I'll dare you to do some things and some other things. Always be a little wary of accepting one of my dares. What else? What else can we talk about? Some housekeeping. I remember. I talk often in class about decompressing the spine. We do that here when we're sitting by lifting the rib cage up, and that generally involves a little bit of hollowing the tummy in. I wanted to talk about decompressing the wrist joint though. In the downward facing dog, which we don't do much of in our practice here, but we will do a little bit of our downward facing dog. I think 2 rounds of downward dog today. But as you develop the strength to make it more comfortable, we'll do even more. Where was I going with that? In downward facing dog, the tendency is to sink into the hands and the wrists. What we want to do though is to create space in the hands and especially the wrists. I'm going to ask you to decompress your wrists today as you're in your downward facing dog. And at the same time, There's going to be this decompression of the torso as well, as you take your pelvis away from the ribs, and the ribs and pelvis away from the wrists. I know that's a lot to take in. Feel free to tune in tomorrow and watch this again. But yes, there's a lot of good things to practice here, and I'm going to do a quick little demonstration if you don't mind. Downward facing dog, for those of you that don't know already, is this one. Upside down V shape. And in it, weight tends to fall down into the wrists and down into the shoulders. The hands get very heavy. What I want you to do in this shape is to decompress the spine by pushing the pelvis up and back away from the ribs. Did you see that? I'm going to sink back to where I was. Heavier in the hands. And then using the pelvis, I'm going to push up and back. And that takes the pelvis away from the ribs, clearly. And it also takes the pelvis away from the wrists, which lightens the wrists, allows them to decompress. And so we spread the fingers as we're in downward facing dog to assist that space in the wrists. We'll talk more about downward facing dog when we get there. To start today though, to really start our practice, let's lie down on the back. Legs comfortably long. You might find your cushion or your bolster, place it underneath of your head or any other part that needs it, and then settle into the ground. Notice your breath. Notice your mood, the thoughts on your mind. And that's ever changing. Tomorrow, different mood, different energy level, different thoughts, different concerns, different cares. What we do here is observe and then let go of what we observe. Catch and release. Observe what you're thinking about and then try. The key word there is try. No guarantees. Try to let go of whatever it is you're thinking about. And you might think about the same thing again, and that's okay. Let go of it again. And wait for something else to pop up into your head. When it pops up, you let go of it. And in much the same way, you can watch the breath this way. Yeah? Inhale, notice it's coming in. Welcome the inhale, but also welcome its release. Let go. Just as the lungs know they are not to hold on to any one breath. So we want to train our mind to let go of thoughts on command. Very useful that we can hold our breath when need be. Inhale fully. And exhale fully. Continue breathing. Observing, coming and going with your breath. Coming and going with thoughts on your mind. A practice. Draw awareness to the body. Much the same way as we're encouraging thoughts to come and go, breath to come and go. Allow sensations in your body to come and go. Scan your body from head to toe, from toes to head. Notice what you feel. Observe it and let it go. Something else will catch your attention. Feel. Let go of what you feel. catch yourself pondering a single thought, choose to let go of that thought. Should you catch yourself holding on to any one breath, let that breath go. Always be another one behind. Feel through back. That's right, you have homework. Butterfly, please. Draw the bottoms of your feet together. And so this makes a diamond shape in the legs. Take your hands underneath of your head. So your elbows bend out to the side up there. Hands tucked under head. Your elbows and arms make a diamond shape, just like your legs. This is butterfly. Notice the stretch different for your inner thighs, and across your chest, and through the inner arms. I call this your homework because you can do this in your bed as you start your day or as you end your day. And then we proceed with our homework thusly. Stand your feet to the ground. So your feet stand down. Do you remember what this one is called? When your feet come to stand down, the knees bent and pointing up to the ceiling like this, it's called constructive rest. It's constructive rest for the back of your pelvis and lower back. Release your hands out from underneath the head. Rest your arms beside you, perhaps out to a T. And then a simple twist. Again, homework. You're good to do this in bed as you start and end your day. Knees drop from constructive rest to the left. And as they do, you turn your face to the right, away from your knees. If you desire more stretch, you might take your right leg and kick it towards your left side. Extending the right leg longer will give you more stretch and more pull in the twist. Breath in. And if they're not already, as you exhale, stack your ankles and then reset centers, constructive rest. Knees are bent, pointing up to the ceiling. And you know what's next. Knees go to the right, and as they fall to the right, it's a twist. You turn your face away from the knees to bring that twist up through your spine and to neck. Rest into gravity's pull, just like this. A few more breaths. You might extend the left leg long. Extending it to the right gives you more stretch and more pull. As you like it. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, stack the ankles and reset the knees up towards the ceiling. Constructive rest. Now, from constructive rest, we'll take our bridge pose. Hands down by the heels of your feet. Kindly reach your hands down towards the feet, palms facing down. Then you want to be able to graze the heels of your feet. If you cannot, try to bring the heels of your feet back a little bit closer to your seat. Ideally, you can touch. If you can't, is that a problem? No, it's never a problem. One day, perhaps. Now, seat, grounded, feet very close to it, hands close to feet. You're ready to go. Lift the seat. Lift your pelvis up and notice your knees move forward and over the ankles just a touch. As the pelvis is up there, Reach your arms now towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Nice zombie arms there. Roll your spine down extra slow. Extra points for being the last one down. Oh, my pelvis has just found itself down. Too early, I might say. Arms rest down by your sides. You might be able to graze the heels of your feet if you try. 2 more times the bridge pose. Lightly lift the seat. Notice your knees travel forward just an inch or so. As the hips lift up, try to lift your ribs higher. Keep your nose pointing at the ceiling, and now that you're up here in the bridge pose, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then very slowly, extra points for moving slowly, rib by rib, lower, down. Wonderful. Arms by your side, palms down. Try to touch the heels one last time before the bridge. Lift. Knees travel forward just a hint as the seat lifts. Can you lift the hips higher? Just a question, not a demand. Let's reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower, slower, lower, down. Once the pelvis is grounded, rest the arms to the floor again. Let's get our abdominal work out of the way early today. We won't have to do it later on, I promise. Unless I forget that we did it now, in which case we'll wind up doing abdominals twice. I'm kidding, of course. Not that there would be anything wrong with doing abdominals twice. Arms reach forward. Head and shoulder lift up. Head and shoulders lift. And now the tummy is toned. You want space between the chest and chin. If you feel any cramping, don't do this exercise. Try it again tomorrow. If everything's good though, pull your abdominal wall in 5 times and you'll pulse a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's do 3 more. 6, 7, 8 crunches. Wow. Rest the head and shoulders back down. And your arms rest comfortably wherever you want them to be. Now the harder part. We've talked about this before, I believe. Legs up towards the sky. Careful not to hold the legs up there. The legs float up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Now, your toenails there move up a millimeter as you try to lighten the pelvis. Straight up. Pelvis lowers down. If you'd like, you can look here. The pelvis. Can you see it lift? Just that little bit, and then down. Notice the toes as well, how they do not swing back. If you notice your feet are swinging back, know that you're doing the exercise wrong. Your toes and your tail are supposed to move straight up. They move barely anything at all. It's a weird exercise for me to give you. They're called tail lifts. Let's do 5 of them together. Exhale, lighten the tail. Inhale down. Exhale, do the work of lightening the pelvis. Inhale, ground the pelvis heavy. Careful not to rock the legs back and forth. You're going up. If you feel the abs tight but no movement, know that you're doing it right. Tighten the lowest abdominals. Almost pull them in and try to lift the pelvis. Oh, is that 5? Are we done? Should we go to 8? No. Let's keep it at 5. We're done. Hug the knees. Squeeze the knees. A good squeeze in towards the chest. Let the knees out. Good. Again, give the knees a squeeze. Try to get the tailbone up and off the ground, your pelvis off the ground. Pull pull the knees in that much. And then pelvis down as you let the knees out. One more time. Pull the knees in. And let the knees out. Good. Left foot down. Right leg extend it up again. Float it up. I should say float it up because an extended leg would be this one. Not a fully flexed and extended leg. I don't want you to do that. Softer leg floats up there. You grab hold of that. Yep, with both hands if you can. And if no can, you can grab your pants. Pull your pants back. Anyway, do pull the leg back towards you. Once you've managed to pull your femur, the bone of your upper leg here, in towards you, you can then go about straightening the knee a little bit. But it's not mandatory. You'll notice it might make you tremble. Work your stretch here. Just a moment more. Now look at your right foot up there. With your arms, just guide your foot and your leg 2 or 3 inches to the left. Notice how that changes stretch, yeah? Come back to where you were. Foot on top of pelvis, more or less. Open your right foot 4 or 5 inches over to the right now. Notice how that changes stretch. Changes the work here. Reset center. Bend the knee. Good. Bend that right knee. And stand your right foot down to the ground. This is constructive rest. It's our starting point for the single leg stretch here. Left leg up softly. Leg goes up there. Avoid working it completely. Unless that feels good for you. I like a soft leg, at least for now. Grab the leg and pull it closer to you, like this. Once the leg is closer, you might pull the toes back and straighten out at the knee. Oh, wow, that's a lot harder though. You're in control here of how much stretch you feel. And you get more stretch, again, by pulling the leg back and then trying to straighten the leg. Be kind to your leg. Now notice where your foot is in relationship to your pelvis. Left foot's pretty much on top of the left hip, right? Take your left foot just 3 or 4 inches to the right. Guide your leg just a little bit to the right. Notice how that changes, stretch and pull. Reset center. And then the left foot, just about 4 or 5 inches over to the left. Notice stretch, how the work, folding the leg, changes. Return to center. Good. Bend the left knee. And stand the left foot down. Good. Roll to your favorite side. And push up to seated. So we've talked before about cross-legged positions. You cross your legs as much as you comfortably can. If you need to be more open, by all means, feel free to open up your legs, place them in any place that feels good. Flesh out from under the seat is mandatory no matter where you place your legs. From here, elbows under shoulders. Imagine yourself growing tall. Use imagination more than muscle. Now, you could sit up taller with the might of your abdominal strength and really muscle it up. Hear my abdominals, they hollow in and all this ribs shoot up. Oof, that's too hard though. Rest for a second, excuse me. Posture long. Gracefully long. And arms relaxed. Ideally elbows elbows under the shoulders, palms up. We move our arms off of a steady spine. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. Simply exhale them down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's add on the center line. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, find your center. Palms touch, float down. Inhale, hands up the center. Redefine your center line. Exhale, palms shine forward and wipe a clean slate down. Inhale up. Palms touch, exhale them down towards the heart. Inhale, hands together up. Exhale, clean slate. Good. Left hand to the floor over here. Palm flat. Right arm over top. This is a right side stretch. Try to get longer on your left side. That looks like this. Good. Right shoulder further back. Gaze up past your right elbow. Or the top elbow, as the case may be. I like to mirror you. Some of you know that. Not sure whether video flips me or not. There's nothing to know. Is this your right arm? Inhale fully. Exhale. Arm down. Do you know what to do? We go to the other side. As the one arm comes down, the other comes across. Are you finished? No, you've just got here. Try to lengthen your right side. Looks like this. You're longer. Try to turn the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the top shoulder. Try to turn the top shoulder more back, and then turn your face up past that top elbow. Continue to breathe. Feel. Just as we let go of breath, let go of sensation, notice how it changes as time progresses. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, rise up to tall. Are you okay? Oh, I feel a flush through the whole arm. Very nice. Kindly place the other leg in front, or if you're not cross-legged, place your legs in any other position now. Once you've found your new position, remove flesh out from underneath of the pelvis again. Sitting prim and proper, elbows under shoulders, palms up, hands resting towards the knees. Float into posture. Feel as though you're leaning back just a millimeter. The heart, the sternum, a little more proud than you might like. Tendency is to sink at the sternum. That looks like this. Can you see the difference? It's noticeable. Sternum lifted, shoulders and arms easy. Circle them up again. Inhale, the arms circle up. This time, exhale, bend the elbows and bring your hands to your shoulders. Very good. Shrug your shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale, touch for the stars. Way higher than you can. Reach higher. Exhale, the arms travel back. Can you? Take the arms slightly back. It's just a little bit back and down to the ground. Once the hands touch the floor, inhale, circle your arms overhead again. Exhale, hands to shoulders, keep your elbows high. Inhale, shrug the shoulders and reach for the stars. Exhale, arms back and down. Very good. Twist to the right. Left hand comes across to right knee, right hand comes around back. can get longer in your spine, a longer torso. Decompress the lower back. Lift the ribs off the pelvis. At the same time, though, you want your shoulders level. Turn your face back as the flourish. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, come around to the other side. So right hand will find left knee. Left hand will find the floor behind your pelvis. It's up to you and your core strength to get longer, to get taller, to decompress the lower back, the spine. Level the shoulders, turn the ribs a little more if you can. That takes arm strength. Then as the flourish, turn your face back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let go. Find center. Very nicely done. Let us find the all fours and we'll work through downward facing dog. Again, we're going to be talking about decompressing. I like to think of a bendy straw, extendable straw at that one joint. You know, you can click it on apart, but you could also scrunch it back together. We want to be pulling the spine long. It's right here in the lower part of the spine. Lifting up tall. As you're seated, it's taking the ribs away from the pelvis. In downward facing dog, let's get there now. Hands and knees first. Knees stack one side or the other. Hips come up. Landmarks here. Knees under pelvis. Hands under shoulders. Downward facing dog requires that the knees come up. But if you a lot of weight is going to go into your hands. I dare you to try and lift your knees straight up 1 inch. And as such, your pelvis here, your pelvis is going to go straight up 1 inch as well. Looks like this. Oh, it's so hard. Rest down. Oh, a lot of weight in the hands there. A sinking quality. We don't want that in downward facing dog. Take the pelvis now on that diagonal, up and back. The shoulders move back away from the hands. Remember earlier the shoulders were on top of the hands. Let's find tabletop again. Knees down. Good. Try for child's pose. If you'd like to, point the toes back and send your seat towards your feet. Just a few breaths here. Forcing nothing. Only as your knees and pelvis allow. Your seat moves towards the feet. Only as much as you can comfortably. Time to move on. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale a scared cat position. Round your spine. Happy Halloween, scared cat. Good. Go the other way. Tuck the toes for happy cat position. Here the tail is up, the head is up, and the belly's down. Again, this is an inhale position. Kindly inhale with me. Exhale just to a neutral spine, or flat back. Good. Downward facing dog. Lift the knees, send the seat on a diagonal back, up and back, away from the hands. Try to decompress the lower spine. Move your pelvis away from your ribs and feel a longer waist. Open up your fingers and notice how that feels in the wrists. Can you create more space in your wrists? Hands walk back, feet walk forward. Walk into a forward fold, elbows to knees as you're ready.
elbows to knees is a good starting point. You're always welcome to dangle lower, but I like elbows to knees mainly because it's more stable. Wherever you are, relax the back of your neck. This is forward fold for quite some time. Downward facing dog was a forward fold. You'll remember. Anytime we get the head below the heart, we call that inversion. Upside down pose. So when you're upside down like this, blood tends to pool in your eyeballs and sinuses. We want to get blood out of the eyeballs before we come to stand. So kindly place your hands to your knees. Straighten your arms in an attempt to rise halfway up. Once you've done that, look up past your eyebrows. Try to find the ceiling, though. I can't quite see mine right above me anyway. There it is. Eyes look up towards the brow. This allows blood to sneak out through the back of your eye. Now rise. Roll the shoulders back as you come to stand. Roll your shoulders back a couple extra times. And then we'll work the width of the mat for just a moment. We'll need a wide stance from which we turn the toes open just a touch. Once accomplished, ground the outside edges of your feet. What does that mean? Push down through the outside edges of your feet. How do you know you've done that successfully? You should feel the arches of your feet lifting up off the floor if the outside edges are really pushing down. Bend your knees and pull them back. As your knees pull back, try to keep your spine very tall. The name of this shape is Goddess. Again, arms come up and mirror the shape in your legs below. Here you want the knees to be pulling back as well as the elbows. Now come up to star, a big X shape. Inhale, straighten the arms and legs. As you exhale, keep the posture plumb. You're not allowed to lean forward, you see. Elbows pull back, knees pull back, posture plumb. Inhale, rise. One more time. Exhale, sink into Goddess. Inhale, rise. Rest your arms by your side. Good. Your right toes, turn them to the right, bend your right knee. Right on top of the ankle, yeah? Left heel, nudge it back, like so. Nice wide stance. Push into the outside edges of your feet. Decompress the lower spine. Lift your ribs off the pelvis and sink the pelvis away from the ribs. Arms up to a T to finish the Warrior Two. Look over your right hand. Digging in with the outside edges of the feet. You might tone your tummy in as you lift the ribs up. You can also squeeze the base of your pelvis like a Kegel exercise. Rest the arms down. Straighten the right knee. Turn the right toes forward towards the side long edge of the mat. And then left toes open to the left, the skinny side of the mat. Bend the knee. Knee right on top of ankle. If the knee goes past the ankle, don't do that. Knee on top of your ankle, never past it. It strains the knee, that's why. Right heel, nudge it back a little bit. Wider stance, more space between the heels. Rib cage squares forward, as does the pelvis. Check, then yours are. Hips sink down, but ribs pull up. Arms float to the T, gaze over your left hand. 5 counts. Begin with the outside edges of your feet. Flare your toes and fingers. Squeeze the base of your pelvis like a Kegel exercise. Arms down, face forward, straighten the left knee. Turn the left toes forward. And then heel toe the feet in. Heel, toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Good. So very good. Come back to the ground. It's a long ways down, I know for some of you. Me too, but let's try to make this fun. Can you pass through downward facing dog on your way to tabletop? Once you find tabletop in all fours, just sit off to one side or the other. Looks like this. Pretty much down the way we came up. Hands to knees. Oh yeah, that's halfway down. Elbows to knees. Oh, that's another quarter of the way. Look how close the hands are to the floor. Hands down, knees are healthily bent. As your hands find the ground, walk the feet back. And if this isn't your cup of tea, by any other means, come down to the ground. All the way down. And we'll lie down again. Lie down into constructive rest. Constructive rest here. Bring your right ankle to your left knee, like so. The right knee wants to move away from your face. Tendencies for it to fall back this way. You want the knee away from you. You're an expert at pulling the other leg in. I remember we did it earlier. Figure 4. Careful now. Left leg floats up towards the sky. Reach around the underside of your leg. Try to pull left leg in as right knee pushes forward away from you. Figure 4. And if you lift your head and shoulders up and look down at your legs, they make a figure 4 shape. That's where the shape gets its name from. Head down, also tailbone down. Can you pull the back of your pelvis flatter? Bend your left knee. Stand your left foot down. Release the left leg. Stand your right foot down. Untangle the figure 4. Other side. Left ankle to right knee. Remember, the left knee wants to fall back towards you, but you're not going to let it. Left knee moves away from you. Left knee forward. Right leg floats up to the sky. Float. You don't have to muscle it up there. You're welcome to, but you don't have to. A looser leg does the same job of stretching the left side of your pelvis. Anyway, pull right leg in. And as you do this, your pelvis might come off the ground. Don't let that happen. Pull the tail down. Just for giggles, lift the head and shoulders. I promised we wouldn't do abs later on in class, but you can't help but work the abs when you lift your head and shoulders. Rest them down if you haven't yet. Good work, figure 4. Another breath or two. Bend your knee. The right knee. Good. Release the leg. Stand your right foot down. And then your left foot down. Walk your feet wide and knock knee. Knock knees, the knees more or less kiss. They don't have to touch, but they at least fall towards each other. Helpful if you turn the toes inward, with the heels very far apart. Rest here. Notice what you feel. Notice where your mind goes. Bring it back to feeling sensations in the body. Comings and going of your breath. Walk your feet together. Constructive rest. Take your knees left. The simple twist. Turn your face to the right. Just the face, the knees stay there. until now. Nose up, knees up, reset center, constructive press. Twist the other side, knees fall right, face to the left. Take a deep breath in. Roll to one side or the other. Fetal position. And comfortable. Press up to seated. Comfortable is the name of the game. Place your legs anywhere you need to feel comfortable. Welcome to find your cushion and sit on it. Shoulders back and elbows under shoulders. So we're coming to an end now. As we sign off, you might use the next 5 or 10 minutes to just sit. Sit with some water, sit with some tea, some juice, and feel it go down. It will be a different temperature than you are. You might even feel a sugar rush from the juice, or a caffeine rush from your tea, or an herbal tea. You might actually feel it calm you down. Sit, if you would, for the next 5 minutes or so, as if a meditation. Just feel what there is to feel. Look out the window, see what there is to see. Put on some music. Listen to what there is to hear. 5 minutes or so each day. It's your homework. Thank you so much. Inhale, arms circle high. Place hands to prayer.